Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I'm Louise from the Dusty Jacket. These next 5 books have characters that are defending their turf, protecting nature, attracting nature, and challenging the status quo. Join me as I review 5 books about making a difference. Let's get started. Our first book is Hoot by Carl Hiaasen, which I rated 4 out of 5 stars and has a recommended reading age of 9 to 12. The day that Dana Matherson mashed Roy Eberhardt's face against the school bus window was perhaps the greatest stroke of luck since Alexander Graham Bell spilled acid on his leg.
What a lucky break for me.
For it was at that exact moment that Roy saw the mysterious running boy bolting past the bus. What was he running from? Where was he going? And why wasn't he wearing any shoes?
There are many questions I can't answer.
Turns out that's not the only mystery in the sleepy little town of Coconut Cove, Florida. Someone's trying to prevent the newest Mother Paula's All-American Pancake House from being built, and Roy is determined to find answers to all of these questions, one way or another. Hoot was awarded a Newbery Honor in 2003 and gives readers 2 mysteries in one: a strange running boy and a vandal thwarting the efforts of a big-time corporation. The story is witty, fast-paced, and full of heart, and our hero Roy is likable and full of moxie. For a kid who just wants to get through the school day unnoticed, he makes it a point to stand out from the crowd. From taking on the school bully to striking up an unusual friendship with Beatrice Leap, an elite soccer star, Roy quickly makes a name for himself and becomes the unlikeliest of heroes.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming.
More than a story about friendship and courage, Hoot is a David versus Goliath tale as environmentalism goes head-to-head with capitalism. It's burrowing owls against big bucks and a group of average kids willing to go to great lengths to protect something far more valuable than a building or brand. Apart from the rather unseemly group of adults we're introduced to, it's Roy, Beatrice, and our mysterious running boy who show us that every life is precious and worth preserving, and that is something that we should all give a hoot about. Our next book is The Pushcart War by Jean Merrill, which I rated 5 out of 5 stars and has a recommended reading age of 9 and up. Imagine if Morris the florist hadn't been blocking the curb, and if Mac hadn't been in such a hurry to deliver his load of piano stools, and if Marvin Seeley hadn't taken a picture with a camera that he had just gotten for his birthday, and if Emily Wisser hadn't cut out that same picture from the newspaper for her scrapbook, and if Emily Wisser hadn't shown that same clipping to her husband, Buddy Wisser, a newspaper editor. Well, we might not ever have had the Pushcart War. Now imagine that.
So can you please just repeat that part one more time for me?
The Pushcart War is packed with humor, hijinks, and heart. It's another David versus Goliath story about a pack of pushcart vendors who wage war against mighty mammoth trucks in hopes of maintaining a little slice of the free enterprise pie. Written in 1964, set in 2036, and taking place in 2026,
You lost me.
Merrill's story resonates as true today as it did in the 1960s, demonstrating the virtues and vices of speaking out for what is right, displaying the corruption of those in power who abuse their platform for personal gain, illustrating how the media can be a driving force behind shaping public opinion, and proving the unfortunate influence that money ultimately has on morality.
It's maybe hitting a little too close to home.
You might think that such weighty topics would never be able to hold the attention of a young reader, but Merrill's Rube Goldberg-esque approach to storytelling, where one act sets off a series of complex events, keeps readers engaged. I mean, who could have imagined that a simple tax on tax could touch off a possible war with England? Jean Merrill, that's who. It's this kind of utterly improbable and highly outrageous scenario that keeps us entertained and cheering for the little guys, no matter how hopeless or hapless their situation may be. Our third book is The True Blue Scouts of Sugarman Swamp by Kathy Appelt, which I rated 4 out of 5 stars and has a recommended reading age of 8 to 12. Raccoons have been the official scouts of Sugarman Swamp for eons. Brothers Bingo and Jemiah are information officers who keep vigil over their beloved swamp and try their best to make their parents proud and respectfully serve the Sugarman. Not far from information headquarters is 12-year-old Chap Brayburn. Mourning the recent loss of his beloved grandfather, Chap is now the man of the house and is uncomfortably in the crosshairs of one Sonny Boy Boku, owner of Sugarman Swamp. Sonny Boy wants to build a wrestling arena and theme park right smack dab in the middle of the swamp.
How could he do such a terrible thing?
Before long, the Scouts and Chap find themselves in a race against time to save the swamp and everything they hold dear. Packed with plenty of action and adventure, Appelt gives readers a thrilling story filled with pirates, feral hogs, a giant rattlesnake, and a hairy giant as tall as a tree with hands as wide as palmettos.
What kind of a story is this?
The story chapters, numerous say-out-loud sounds, and numerous side comments make this the perfect bedtime story. Readers will delight in the antics of Bingo and Jemiah, while parents will appreciate the valuable moral lessons repeated throughout the book. Although there is a bit of thievery in our story, can you really blame two hungry scouts when delicious sugar pies are involved?
I don't think so.
The True Blue Scouts of Sugar Man Swamp is about family, loyalty, and bravery, but at its core is a love letter to Mother Nature, reminding us that no matter how slimy, scary, slippery, scaly, scummy, or scratchy some creatures, objects, or places might be, they each play an invaluable role in an ecosystem that is extremely complex, fragile, and very precious and irreplaceable. We could all benefit by following the official Sugar Man Swamp Scout orders. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears to the ground, keep your nose in the air, be true and faithful to each other. In short, be good. Our fourth book is The Wheel on the School by Maynard DeYoung, which I rated 5 out of 5 stars and has a recommended reading age of 8 to 12. Welcome to Shora, a fishing village in Holland on the shore of the North Sea in Friesland. Shora has some houses, a church, a clock tower, and a school, but it's the school children that make this town and this story so special. Of these 6 school children, there is only one girl, and her name is Lena. One day in the middle of arithmetic, Lena asks a question that will set in motion a series of events that will change their little village forever. Teacher, may I read a little story about storks? You see, no one can remember a time when there were storks in Shora, and Lena's essay made everyone begin to wonder and ask why this was so. So begins the story of school children who share a common dream of bringing the storks to their little fishing village.
We do this together!
Every now and then a book comes along that reminds me why I fell in love with reading. DeYoung's story about a small Dutch village is such a book. It's a charming and enchanting story about how a single dream ignited the imagination and united a village. DeYoung brings the reclusive, the misunderstood, and the outsider together to show that each has importance and value. His message of inclusion and acceptance is delivered warmly and lovingly and gives readers a sense of hope, faith, and the promise that perhaps dreams really can come true.
Some dreams do come true.
The Wheel on the School is a brilliant gem that reminds us that even in the midst of the impossible lies the possible. Our last book is Amal, Unbound by Ayesha Saeed, which I rated 5 out of 5 stars and has a recommended reading age of 9 to 12. 12-year-old Amal belongs to one of the more prosperous families in her Punjabi village in Pakistan and dreams of becoming a teacher. She vividly remembers one particular afternoon, the smell of the chalkboard, the students chattering outside the door and talking poetry with her teacher. Little did she know that that would be her last day at school. While at the market, Amal encounters and challenges the son of the village's most powerful landlord, a slight that would have unimaginable consequences. She is forced to pay off her family's debt while working on the Khan estate.
That is wrong on so many levels.
While there, she begins to realize the full extent of the family's vast wealth and power. Amal must summon all her strength and courage to change the status quo, because if everyone decided that nothing could ever change, then nothing ever would. Amal Unbound is a captivating read, and its short chapters allow readers to absorb the important messages and lessons that fill each page. The societal and cultural limitations that Amal brings to light accurately reflect her life and the obstacles that she faces. The idea of fairness is a major theme throughout the book, as she constantly recalls her father's words of life's unfairness whenever she's at a crossroad.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
Saeed delivers a story about an ordinary girl who does an extraordinary thing. She has the audacity to speak out for change. Amal quickly realizes that life comes down to a series of choices she doesn't want to make or feels that she lacks the courage to do so. But her teacher at the Literacy Center reminds her, making choices even when they scare you because you know it's the right thing to do, that's bravery. Amal overcame her fear and proved just how powerful a servant girl could be once she freed herself from the ties that bound her.
Girl power.
Well, that's it. We'll include a link to our Goodreads page in the comments section should you wish to read the full review of any of these books. And if you enjoyed this video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons and make sure to hit the bell so that you're notified when new videos become available. Again, thanks for watching, and I look forward to bringing back some old titles so that you can make new memories, because any time is a good time to dust off a new favorite. Keep reading!